Hey everyone, Talka here with a short overview of changes to PvP with patch 7.31. This will be a very brief video, as while the changes this time ought to be fairly impactful, there's not actually that many of them. Firstly, Purify and Recuperate now cost 2000 MP instead of 2.5k. This effectively makes it so that you have an extra charge of either action for a total of 5 instead of 4. The devs have alluded to trying to improve melee and tank survivability as a reasoning for this change, which in a way makes sense because with current damage numbers, having an extra available charge of either Recoup or Purify may be the difference between being able to turn the corner or not before biting the dust. However, I find that there being no change to its duration or tardy activation may mean that it won't really improve the survivability of newer or less experienced players. With that said, let's move on to the list of buffs and nerfs for this patch. Dark Knights have always been sturdy within the Restored Earth, but the region while inside of it is now even stronger, and the damage over time to enemies from standing inside it has been buffed as well. Additionally, the window to activate the snaring of enemies inside has been shortened, which should make it harder for people to escape it without burning their purifies. Monks will see a 1000 damage increment to every step of their entire melee combo, as well as the removal of drop-off damage outside of the first target hit by Phantom Rush, its final step, which in essence makes it an area of effect nuke. Dragoons see a healthy increase to their survivability while in Life of the Dragon, with an increase to damage taken during life going down from 25% to 15%. Machinists have received a small HP buff, nudging them from 57,000 HP to 58,500, and the potency of their knockback skill Scattergun has gone up from 6 to 8,000. I think it may be a bit early to call it good, since Machinist survivability issues have always laid in how its kit doesn't really give it any good survivability while moving, since its only source of shields is standing static on its turret. But between more available self-healing and the small HP buff, Machinists may be able to survive getting dived a bit more often. Much like monks, dancers have also seen flat increases to the second step of their respective combos, Fountain and Fountain Fall. Along with last patch's honing dance buff, this makes them a bit of a clip powerhouse. Summoners see a random 1000 buff to necrotize because they already don't have damage out the ears. And lastly, sages will see a nice buff to their Phlegma 3 damage, as well as increasing the fall of damage enemies beside the intended target take from Psyche in a 3 yawn range. A thread in common for these nerfs has been to reduce MP steal and the impact of crowd control through shortening skills that either negate it or induce hard crowd control. Ninja's Fork Raiju has seen its window of opportunity reduced drastically from 10 to 5 seconds. Think fast, ninja mains! Samurai's Meikyu Shisui has also been reduced from 3 to 2 seconds, bringing it in line with the current state of Purify. Viper has arguably been bonked the hardest by the nerf pad this patch, with its lifesteal from Backlash reverted back from 100% to 50% as it was before 7.3. While their damage from hitting into scales isn't changed, this means Vipers cannot hold point for as long before being turned into a pair of boots, making their presence less oppressive. Similarly, Black Mage's Sonoglossy Heal has also been reverted from 100% to 50% when the player has more than 50% HP, and its damage reduction from Word of Ice has gone down from 25 to 20%. Bard's MP steal in Encore of Light has been reduced from 5,000 to 4,000 MP. I actually like this change, as it conserves some of the value from this skill being tied to a 2-minute LB, while still allowing the victim to conserve roughly 3 charges of either Purify or Recuperate. It means the Bard has to be more selective as to who they let it out on to make sure they get a kill out of it. Pictomancer has received a minor nerf in the form of an HP pool reduction, bringing it in line with Sage, Scholar, Astrologian, and Black Mage, as well as having its Smudge cooldown increased by 3 seconds. As a Picto main myself, I did some live testing prior to recording this video, and found that it doesn't really affect the flow of its damage, as with the Purify and Recuperate adjustment of this patch, fights themselves have slowed down a bit. Astrologian's LB, Celestial River, no longer reduces the healing potency of enemies, which makes it a little bit less oppressive of a support LB to fight into. In what may arguably be a death knell for white mages ever ascending win rate, Polymorph's MP drain has been changed from 2500 to 1000. This is still significant, as a 3000 MP lost if one chooses to purify it, but it doesn't mean suddenly half your MP pool is gone anymore. Additionally, the potency of White Mage's beam has been cut down to 16,000, which, while still significant, makes it a bit less of a threat. And that's it for changes for this sub-patch. It's a short one, but it's full of micro adjustments that I think are generally in a good direction after the cataclysmic change that was 7.3's changes to Purify. In a future video, I would like to explore a bit about how this series of adjustments have changed the health of each PvP mode over time, so please don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences with me in the comments. Until the next one!